Hi everyone, it's Nancy here, back with another process video for you. Here I am just going through my stash, and I'm using a piece of paper from the Dear Lizzie Fifth and Frolic, but I've also pulled out my Yes Please collection from Amy Tan. And again, just looking through the pieces of paper that I might want to use. The photos that I'm actually going to be scrapping are of the evening when we were in America when we went to Staples Center to see the Lakers play. So I wanted to kind of go a little bit themey by using like yellow and purple, which is kind of their colours. But I don't actually have much purple stash, and I know that like purple, or was it Radiant Orchid or whatever it is, the colour of the Pantone colour of this year, but there's not really much of it in my scrapping supplies. I managed to find a little bit of purple in the Amy Tan paper pad, but I pull out this sort of pink and yellow to mount my photos on. And again, I'm just doing a photo cluster here, so I'm clustering 4 4x6, which 2 of those I've cut down. There's a really attractive a picture of me there looking like a bean with my Lakers cap on, and I say this is us inside the Staples Center. So I'm just going to trim a small border around this, and then that will be my photo mat done. And just trying to work out whereabouts I want to centre those, and then I'm going to start adding my background texture. I'm going to use the Dilutions mist, and I'm just going to spray that directly on to start with. And then also going to do some sprinkles, but I do end up adding some more mist on here. And again, it does, this is paper pad paper, so it is much thinner, so it does kind of really saturate the paper. I'm taking out my chipped sapphire ink, and then I'm using my triangular ink roller just to add some more texture on top of those. I do apologise if you can hear any background noise. I have got my window open to let some air in, as it's quite a nice day. So I'm just adding that texture over, and then I'm going to add some gold over the top. I'm not sure what I'm doing, I think I'm probably just shaking it up. So I'm just adding some gold over the top there. And I really liked how that looks. Looking back, I could have put the blue over the top, because that would have then made purple, but I didn't think that far ahead. So just drying up that gold mist, which does take a little bit of time. And as I said, this paper ends up getting really warped, not only because I've sprayed the ink on it, I then heated it, and it's really thin paper anyway, so I do just back that onto just a random bit of cardstock, which you'll actually see in a minute. Just trying to work out where to put my photos, and again I'm just gluing those middle bits down. As you know, I only glue in the middle of my photos until I'm happy with where they are, but I will leave the free edges so I can tuck bits behind. So I'm going to stick my photo down, and I was thinking maybe that would stabilise the paper a bit more, but it doesn't. So I'm just going through this paper pad looking at what things I really don't like. I'm not going to use that rose paper, so managed to get paper wound all up in my tape gun. The paper in these paper pads is not as good as it is now. The newer paper pads I've got are actually a lot better quality. I do find that they rip really easily, but I suppose it's it's the price you pay for getting like a cheaper way of buying the papers. But once it's in a page protector, to be honest, I don't think you can tell the difference. So I've just trimmed those little bits up off the side there, and I've just backed it, and that makes it so much more stable. Just taking a little bit of a branding strip there, which was pink, and I'm now going through these 2 cut apart sheets, because these were the 2 things that I saw that had purple on. So I am just off frame here, but I am just cutting those out, and I'm just using my scissors. I'm not overly fussed if they're really neat. And I'm then cutting there's a small purple box as well, so I'm just going to cut that out. I do end up, after this layout, cutting up those sheets of paper, those cut parts, and putting them all together. So I'm just cutting that out because I decided I wanted to use that title, that bit that says good times, somewhere else. I do end up cutting it down before I actually think about what I could do with it, and I do end up pasting it in that sort of blank space there on the photo. The photos in the video do actually look quite dark. I say the ones inside were, and then the other one outside the Staples Centre was taken at dusk, so they're not the brightest of photos. So I've just taken this half of a doily that I had sitting in my stash. I actually think it's the last one of those purple doilies actually, which is a real shame. I have to see if I can find some more of those somewhere. And again, as I said, they were actually catering doilies that I got from Selfridges probably about 5 years ago, so I'm not sure if they even make them anymore. So I'm just fussing with the placement of this little branding strip there. And I'm going to echo that colour up in the top as well. I'm just using my ATG to place this down. I'm just putting that little banner piece there. I have this other piece of the same purple, and I'm just looking at where to place that, so I do end up just cutting a strip of that and backing that into that cluster. And then I'm going to make another cluster here on that side of the photo. Again, I'm trying not to fuss too much and just stick it down. This is a pretty quick layout. This took me about 50 minutes. I'm just going through my stash here, my die cuts, just looking at what I can add. That is, the best one was something that was in the Dear Lizzie Polka Dot Party die cut pack. And the title for this layout is going to be The Best Sport. I'm really not a sports fan at all. I just hate it. But when we went to America, my boyfriend really wanted to go and see the Lakers play. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go, but only if I get a flat peak cap. And as promised, I got my cap, so I was happy to go and see them. And I actually ended up really enjoying it. I think it's because it's quite fast paced. You don't kind of get bored, and then the atmosphere in the Staples Centre was really good. So the Lakers didn't end up winning, but that's now become like our adoptive team. And my boyfriend did actually buy me, this was back when we were in the UK, I think he bought it for my birthday, or maybe it was the anniversary that we've been together. He brought us both Lakers jerseys with our names on the back, so that was rather exciting. So yes, I have worn it to work, and the kids are like, what are you doing wearing, basketball stuff? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen them, I've got my flat peak. Because all the kids here in the UK wear all the flat peak caps thinking they're all gangsters. So it's quite funny that, I go in and I kind of have the same look. It's a little bit funny. Anyway, I'm just going through the different Project Life packs here. Just trying to see if there's anything else I want to add. I do pull that Project Life card out there, and I am going to end up cutting that up. So just seeing if there's anything else I want to add. Just looking at bits of random paper I've got on my desk. Seeing anything else I want to add as a layer here. So I'm just going to cut that piece out. You will see that I picked out two of the potty people, and they are the Jelly Bean Soup corrugated ones. And I'm actually going to end up spraying those up in the end. So just trying to work out where my clusters are going to go, so I'm just pulling that one down a little bit. And then I've got these sort of post-it notes, which I'm going to look at layering. So I've just taken the excess of that border strip over. Just wanting to add, make sure I've got enough sort of grounding in for my layers. So I'm just putting that part of my title on. And now I am going to be looking for... I thought I was going to put my title down. I think I'm still messing around with these post-it notes, which are pink arrows. And they're sort of sticky on one end, and I really just wanted to use, something else to put down. So I'm now going to spray up these people. I do actually end up using that excess where I've sprayed it. I do end up making that into some little cut-up bits and putting it in my die cut box, so that may or may not appear on a future layout, but I just thought it was too cute to waste. So just sprayed those up in that funky fuchsia. I'm really happy with how that looks. I'm just putting those arrows down. I'm now going to use these, they're not thickers, they're not branded American craft ones or anything, they're just sort of cheap ones from the craft store here in the UK, but they're the bright coloured pink, so I'm just using those, and I'm just picking out the asterisks from those as well to add to my clusters. I'm just trimming off my excess there as well. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for here. I think I was looking for my stamp sets. I did want to look at stamping a camera to add to that top cluster there. So I'm just trying to find the right camera. The one I thought about using is actually facing the wrong way, so that's not going to work on this layout. So I'm just pulling out different stamps and bits I've got here, which I really need to use more. It's something that I'm really trying to do, is use them up, or just take them to my local co-op where we have like a selling table, just to sell them, because there's no point in them sitting in my stash if they're not being used. And a lot of these are Studio Calico stamps that I got when I subscribed. So I've just pulled that arrow off there because it's not going to work. The position I had it was not going to work with this stamp. So I'm just stamping that on a little excess of that Project Life card, and I'm using the chipped sapphire distress ink. And so I'm happy with where that's going to go. So I'm just putting that arrow in there. I don't mind too much that it's kind of coming close to sort of my boyfriend's face there, because it's just kind of, the pictures aren't great quality because they were sort of inside and we didn't have a flash. As you'll know from my previous videos, if you've seen it, I didn't take my best camera in, and I really regretted it because of a certain celebrity that was there. And anyway, the pictures that were taken were not great quality, but it recorded the moment, and I just wanted to get these down. And then I'm just going to journal a bit on here about how actually this is now my favourite sport, or the only sport I like. So I'm just going to stick down these little potty people, and I really like how they turned out actually. Really nice little texture. I'm not sure what I've gone off to do now. Oh, I must have been texting by the looks of it. So I'm just going to take some more of the gold and just add that into the different clusters to add a little bit more texture over the top. I'm really happy with how that looks. And I'm just going to add a cluster of little enamel dots. I'm just adding those in 3 places on the layout, and I'm using a purple and a pink one from this sheet. And then I'm going to just pull out one of these sparkly bits of bling to be the other one in the cluster. So thank you very much for watching. I will put some close-ups of the layout at the end here, and I just want to thank you very much for watching, and I'm sorry again for any background noise. So